Good evening, everyone. Tonight I'm going to be sharing a short presentation on Leader.net, which I have subtitled An Invaluable Resource to All Classical Singers and Music Educators. And I genuinely think this is true. I think all singers and music educators can really benefit from this website. Now, I know a lot of you may already know this website or even use it in your practice, but I am not convinced that everyone knows of all of the actual capabilities of this website. So I'm going to use this opportunity to share some of them with you tonight. First, let's just look at a quick overview of Leader.net. Leader.net is the world's largest online reference of archive of texts and translations of art songs and choral works. I did not say that right. That's okay. Anyways, it was created by Emily Azust in 1995. Currently, there are over 162,000 vocal pieces cataloged and 36,000 translations available on the website. There are several search criteria options as well to help you find what you're looking for. You can use the composer name, song title, or the first line of the piece. You can search by the year the piece was published or the year it was composed. You can do either. You can search by collection, or you can search everything on the entire database. Let's look at some of the practical applications of Leader.net. You can use Leader.net to find translations of art songs and choral works. You can use it when creating program notes for a concert. You can use it to rediscover past repertoire. And by that, I mean, for example, maybe you sang a song in high school that you really, really liked, and you're not really sure you remember the title of it, you don't have the score, but you think you know the first line. You can search that first line, and it's pretty likely that you will find it, especially if it's public domain. You're very likely to find it. And you can finally use it to build your repertoire. And there's a slight caveat to this, but I'll get back to that as I get there. So for now, let's go take a quick look at Leader.net and just show you some of the navigation of this website. Here's the homepage. This is the little manifesto or whatever that I totally butchered when I was reading it from my slide, but there you go. If you scroll down, there's some quick links like Schubert or Goethe, some popular things that are commonly looked up. So if you're looking for one of these, there it is. But this is where it really happens. Click on Open Menu and scroll down to Utilities. Under here is where all their search options is, and this is where you really get to the value of this website. So let's search everything first. Let's say you are assigned Die Weihnacht by Brahms and you need a translation so you can perform it in studio and confidently talk about what you're singing about. So let's take a look. Die Weihnacht. Here it is. So here we have the original German text, all 4 stanzas. And if you need the translation, you can click on English, you can click Italian, you can click any of those languages and it will give you a translation. Not all songs are going to have that many translations, but this is a popular one, so you're likely to find it. And what's great about this is you can do this. Show text and translation together. Look at this. We have the original German and then the English translation directly below it. And although this website tends to have poetic translations, you can still put a lot of this word for word together and put a lot of the pieces together. So for a lot of purposes, especially if you're performing art song, this is very, very useful. Let's try another search. Let's search by everything again. And let's search for Fanny Hensel's Schöne Fremde, which is a choral work. Now, it shows up right here as our second option, as you can see. But if, for example, the piece you're looking for has a character that is not in the English alphabet, you can actually still find it here and easily copy and paste it into your search bar if you are struggling with that. Here you go, Schöne Fremde. Let's take a look. So say you are programming this with your choir and you need your kids to know what they're singing about. Here you go. English translation right there for you. Yes, I do like your website. I've been clicking on this website all night to prepare for this. So here we go. You can do this great feature here. And there's something else that's quite nice about this website is, let's see if I can find it. No, where's their little note on... Well, I'm not able to find their note on program notes, but I'll just tell you what it says. You can use their translations for program notes if you are hosting an in-person concert that has free admission. If you are charging admission, you cannot use these translations without permission. But you can use these for your own personal reference to then create program notes out of them. So even if you're not putting the word-for-word translation in your program notes, you can use this to easily type up a quick paragraph about the piece. That way your audience understands what your choir is singing about. All right, next let's try searching by text here. What did we look at in our presentation here? Oops. Rediscover past repertoire. So let's search by text. Here we go. Scroll down, utilities. Title or first line. I'm just going to take the first example I have on the top of my head. Let's say, oh, I sang a song and I know the first line is, "The lake lay blue," but I don't remember what it's called. The lake lay blue. Below the hill. Here we go. And now we can see that this is Stanford's The Bluebird that I was thinking of. So this was an easy example for me because I sang this recently. But if you know the first line of a piece, but you don't know the title, you can likely still find it. And that's really useful for us as future choral educators because it's so often that we hear beautiful rep and we're like, oh, I want to save that for later. But it's easy to lose those programs from the concerts, especially like me, if you just moved or something, it's easy for them to get lost. So this is a great way to rediscover that great rep so you can program it for your own students in the future. Finally, I want to search by composer title, or composer name, sorry. And this is going to talk about expanding your repertoire. So let's say you want to diversify your repertoire a little bit. Let's look up Price. Here we have Florence Price. This is who I was looking for. Say you heard a great piece by Florence Price performed at a recital, and you are thinking to yourself, wow, I would love to hear more of her works. Well, this is a great way to do this. And although these lists aren't always comprehensive, this is a really great starting point to look at other rep by composers, especially ones like Florence Price and other marginalized composers who aren't performed very much. I mean, this music is excellent, so this is a great way to look for this. Now, there is a quick caveat to this building your repertoire bullet point, and I want to talk about that for a moment. Basically, the reasons why this website is great is that you get these translations and you can search these fairly comprehensive lists, but that being said, it is not great in the fact that it doesn't provide scores or recordings. So if you're really like on the hunt for brand new rep and you just want to listen to a bunch of things and look at the score and look at tessitura or whatever, this isn't the greatest place for that. But it is good if you are looking, if you have something in mind. And that's kind of my second point of this caveat, is it's a little challenging to start from ground zero with this website. So if you are trying to program a themed concert, for example, this is a great website to look, because you can just look up a word that is, or a theme or a composer or let's say you want to do a German set. It's so easy to just look up German composers and have a list of almost all of the works they'd ever composed. So if you have a theme in mind and you want to program, this isn't a bad place to look. But that being said, they do not have scores or recordings provided. So that is all I have for leader.net. I hope someone found this useful. I hope you learned something about the search engine, or maybe you didn't know about the website at all. Thank you so much for tuning in.